After their fight ended in a controversial draw, Tank wasted no time making his feelings known. He took to social media, live streams, and interviews to make it clear. He wasn't happy with the result, and he certainly didn't think Roach did enough to deserve even a share of the victory. But that's just the start. Tank's been catching heat not just from Roach, but from some of his biggest rivals. Comments from fellow fighters took aim at his in-ring performance.
Bodies weren't falling for him at some points in that fight, but I believe we won that fight. Clearly, we should be two-time world champion right now.
Particularly his excuse about fighting pretty and not being at his best. Those words only added more fuel to the fire, setting the stage for some explosive matchups in the near future. However, one thing seems certain. Tank's primary focus isn't just about settling scores, it's about money. And if things had gone according to plan, we might have seen him call out an even bigger name after the fight. So who was he planning to call out? What was the original plan? I think he was here. T was going to do him, Tank admitted, hinting at the showdown that never happened. He came into my locker room, Shakur Stevenson. He wasn't in my locker room. That name alone changes the whole narrative. A Davis versus Stevenson fight would have been a massive event. But with the draw against Roach, the moment was lost.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here.
Tank gonna do him.
He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
Now, instead of planning a mega fight, Tank finds himself at the center of a heated dispute over the result of his latest match. And if that wasn't enough, his rivalry with Roach has reached a boiling point. During a fiery live session, Davis taunted Roach, claiming he was still the superior fighter and that Roach should be grateful he didn't get knocked out. But Roach wasn't backing down. He shot back, making it clear that Tank gave everything he had in the ring and still couldn't put him away. With tensions rising, the big question remains. Will there be a rematch? Nobody likes a draw.
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the...
Tank admitted in a post-fight interview. Especially for a guy known for knockouts, but it's cool. If we fight again, I know I can do more. I should have done more. I lost track in there. And let's be real, Tank losing focus might have cost him the win. The fight itself was razor close, with Roach coming in sharp, outworking Tank in multiple rounds. But the biggest moment of the night came in the 9th round, sending shockwaves through the boxing world. Tank took a knee. Most fans and analysts saw it as a clear knockdown. Roach's punch landed clean, and Tank went down. But the referee didn't call it. That single decision changed everything.
And I thought I was doing my thing, so I'm not really that frustrated about that. But if that was kind of a knockdown, I would win a majority decision.
But if the knockdown had been ruled correctly, Roach would have likely pulled off the biggest win of his career. Instead, the fight was declared a majority draw, allowing Tank to hold onto his WBA lightweight title. So, what happens now? Does Tank run it back with Roach to prove his dominance? Or does he move on, setting his sights on bigger fights with names like Shakur Stevenson or even Devin Haney? One thing's for sure, Tank Davis knows how to keep people talking, and whether it's through his fights, his callouts, or his trolling, he's making sure the spotlight stays right where he wants it, on him.
They was both even. If you watch the fight, they was both watching each other. Sometimes they stood right in front of each other, just trying to figure out where the holes was at. It was a very skillful fight.
And which is one of the things that when you fight somebody that you know...
Despite the controversy surrounding their fight, Gervonta Tank Davis has been in full troll mode ever since. The moment the final bell rang, Tank wasted no time taking control of the narrative. Social media became his battlefield, and Lamont Roach Jr. was his prime target. With his signature confidence and a hint of sarcasm, Tank reminded Roach and the boxing world that a draw wasn't enough to take his belt. "You should be thanking me for not ending your career," Davis posted. If that wasn't enough, he followed up with another jab, completely dismissing Roach's performance. "You had the fight of your life and still couldn't beat me."
That particular quality, if I'm Tank Davis and I'm coming off a disappointment in terms of my offensive output, I'm not going straight to the best defender in the division. I'm looking for some other fight, and I think the logical fight for him is a rematch with Lamont Roach.
For most fighters, this kind of trash talk from Tank would be enough to let things die down. But Roach wasn't about to stay quiet. He fired back with equal energy, making sure Davis knew exactly how he felt. "You know the truth," Roach said, clapping back in a fiery response. "You gave it everything you had and still couldn't put me away." Roach then took to Instagram Live to break things down even further. "If you watch the fight, we were both reading each other, standing in front of each other, trying to figure out where the openings were. It was a very skillful fight, and if you were in the ring, you know exactly what happened. You felt it, you did your best, and you still couldn't beat me. Told you I wasn't Frank Martin." That last line hit hard. It was a direct shot at Tank's previous victory over Martin, a fight that many saw as an easier matchup for Davis.
And I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to bank the rounds, and even without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. So I don't think there's any excuse for me not to win tonight, but that's just how the cookie crumbled.
Roach made it clear he wasn't another name to be added to the highlight reel. Tank didn't take kindly to the criticism, and he especially didn't appreciate the ongoing debate about the biggest moment of the fight. His decision to take a knee in the 9th round. "Man, y'all keep talking about that knee," Davis said in an interview. "I took a knee because I wanted to, not because he did anything special. I was just chilling, thinking about what I was going to eat after the fight." But let's be real, no one's buying that excuse. Fans, analysts, and even fellow fighters have weighed in, with most agreeing that Roach landed a shot that forced Davis to touch the canvas.
Made the rules up. Yeah, that was bullshit. It should have been called a knockdown. You can't take a break like that. The only person that can do that is the referee. The referee can stop the action and say, "Hey, let me take you to the corner."
The fact that the referee didn't rule it a knockdown only fueled the controversy further. Roach made sure to keep applying the pressure. "I thought I did my thing, so I'm not really that frustrated about it. But if that was counted as a knockdown, I would have won a majority decision," Roach argued. That statement holds weight. If the referee had made the call, the scorecards could have swung in Roach's favor, giving him the biggest victory of his career. Instead, the fight was ruled a draw, leaving both fighters with unfinished business. For a man who once spoke about retirement, Gervonta Davis suddenly has a lot more to say about his future in boxing. "Yeah, it definitely changed my plans," Tank admitted at the post-fight press conference. "I probably got 4 more fights now for sure. It's a complete shift from where he was just months ago." At the end of 2024, Tank seemed ready to walk away, tired of the sport and everything that came with it. But now he's got something to prove.
For your future.
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now. For sure.
The draw against Lamont Roach Jr. has clearly been eating at him, even though he won't admit it outright. His non-stop trolling of Roach is proof enough. For someone who claims he doesn't care about the decision, Tank sure is spending a lot of time making sure everyone knows he's still the champion. But while Tank is busy playing mind games, another fighter has entered the conversation, one who isn't backing down. Ever since the controversial draw, Keyshawn Davis has been all over social media, making it clear that he never believed in Tank's hype. And after watching him struggle against Roach, he's going all in on that belief. "I feel like Lamont won." Let's start there, Keyshawn said bluntly during an Instagram Live session. "A draw is what it is. I ain't hating on the decision, but I feel like Roach pulled it off." He wasn't just stating an opinion, he was backing it up with facts. Had the 9th round knee been ruled a knockdown, Roach would have won on 2 of the 3 scorecards, making him the new WBA lightweight champion.
The nigga trash. I'm talking about the opponent. The opponent. Trash. I just don't like how...
Instead, the referee let it slide, allowing Tank to hold onto his belt and escape with a draw. The controversy only added to the growing conversation about whether he's really the best at 135 pounds. Keyshawn didn't stop there. He made it clear, if Tank and Roach run it back, there's only one outcome. If they ran it back, y'all already know what would happen. But this wasn't just about Roach. It was about Keyshawn putting himself in the mix. He wasn't just saying Roach gave Tank problems. He was saying he'd give Tank nightmares. "I'm the best at 135, man. Either one of them, I'm knocking them out." This wasn't hesitation. This wasn't trash talk just to get attention. He spoke like a man who had already envisioned the fight, already knew the outcome. "If you give me either one before their rematch, I'm fucking them up. I ain't playing. I'm putting all these guys down." The message was loud and clear. Tank and Roach can settle their unfinished business, but if Keyshawn gets his shot first, there won't be anything left to settle.
That fight playing out, what's the biggest advantage that Keyshawn has going against
Tank?
Yeah.
He's a great boxer. Keyshawn's a great boxer, and he got power behind him. So I can see that fight just being an entertaining fight. Keyshawn's an entertainer, like you said. Tank comes in there trying to knock you out. I can see that fight just being entertained and, doing later rounds, Keyshawn stop it. Yeah.
Then came the moment where Keyshawn really let Tank have it. Don't say Tank will knock me out no more. I'm shutting that spin down right now. Don't even fix your mouth to say this man could knock me out. Crazy. It wasn't just trash talk. It was an outright dismissal of everything Tank built his reputation on. The power, the knockouts, the fear factor. Keyshawn doesn't see any of it as real. To him, Tank has been fed a steady diet of opponents who made him look good. Fighters who were smaller. Fighters who lacked the skill to make him uncomfortable. Fighters who didn't have the ring IQ to truly expose his weaknesses. Tank has never fought nobody like me, Keyshawn continued. Y'all keep hyping up his power, but what happens when he fights somebody who ain't scared of it? When he fights somebody who's just as fast, just as sharp, and who don't get tired?
Stop closing up and let it go. Keep turning, step around.
For now, Tank's next fight is up in the air. He's hinted at a Roach rematch, but he also made it clear that it won't be next. That leaves the door wide open. Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson are names that have been floating around for years, but so is Keyshawn Davis. And given how personal he's making this rivalry, a fight between him and Tank could be one of the biggest matchups in boxing. The only question is, will Tank take the fight? Because if there's one thing that's becoming obvious, it's that Keyshawn isn't just talking. He believes this is his time, and he's not going to stop until he gets his shot. One way or another, the lightweight division is about to get very interesting. Alright guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content, and check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out!